Good day, everyone. This is Woman to Woman, and I'm your host, Miss Nene.
And I'm your host, Lisa. All right. Hello, listeners.
What?
Look,
we go again.
You just told me to go for it. Now, open the damn show.
Hello, listeners. Today, our topic is
bullying. So let's talk about it.
That's how we do it. She all over bullying. She all over it. See,
bullying.
That's the problem. She know I start the show off, and she say what the topic is, and let's talk about it.
All right, we're gonna talk about it.
Well, bullying, cyberbullying, bullying face to face, all this different type of bullying is just a punk move to me.
It is, because when I was coming up in elementary, I was bullied by this girl named Brianna.
Oh, you remember her name?
Sure
Where's she
do.
at? Where's she at?
Who knows? I don't know. I ran into her once we got grown. But she would always, I'm going to have my brother beat you up. I'm going to have my brother beat you up. Just stupid, for nothing. Because she was jealous of me, hating. Because I had boobs first. She didn't have no boobs. And, it was just stupid stuff. When you look back. But the difference is they did it face to face, and they would actually come up to you, try to fight you. So you didn't have a choice back then but to fight a bully.
Yeah.
Because my mama was like, you better not come home telling me nobody bullied you, because that ain't what we do.
Right.
So if they put their hands on you, you're going to have to defend yourself, and you better hit them back. See, nowadays, they don't want nobody hitting nobody.
Not me.
They want to put you in the corner for timeout. But see, back in them days, and I even raised my boys, if somebody put their hands on you, you have every right to defend yourself. I'll deal with the school.
Well, I even took it a little further. I'm like, if you feel threatened, if you cannot remove yourself from the situation, if you can remove yourself, this is what I teach, then by all means, remove yourself from the situation.
Right.
So we could be proactive instead of reactive. I said, but if you feel threatened, you better you better handle it, and don't stop until somebody is pulling you off. I don't care about.
But this is the problem that you have.
I
And the
deal
reason,
with the school.
Right, but the reason you have to teach that, and I had to start teaching my boys differently, like, they better throw the first punch. Well, no, because now the schools are charging $500 a pop for a fight.
Yep.
Like, are you kidding me? So somebody can go around and bully your child, and they supposed to go to school because they nervous, they scared, they can't learn properly.
But look
they don't
at
know
the
what's going
suicide
on.
rate.
Oh, yeah, that is just
From being
astronomical. And that's from online. But this is what I don't get. I dealt with a bully face to face.
I have, and I've been a bully.
Right. Sure, we all have. We just talked about this hater crap in the last show. But my thing is, how in God's name are you letting somebody bully you that you don't even see?
I don't understand.
You just typing. I would chop them up so fine they might want to go commit suicide. With words. We talking words.
Words. Yes.
So we know words are powerful, but my point is, why you want to kill yourself when it's somebody you don't know? Or do I have it wrong?
Sometimes they do know. Sometimes they do know. Sometimes
but is it the people that they know that they're going to school with,
that they target,
and then they're talking about them or bullying them on social media? But when you get to school, they ain't gonna do nothing. So what?
But just imagine a child or a teen walking through campus with everybody looking at their phones, reading and laughing and pointing. Oh, that's her right there, and nah. Oh, that's the girl. And
but if you chop that other person up, they'll be saying the same thing about that other person.
Right, but most of the time, bullies do not. Kids being bullied do not fight back, and I'm not.
They pick on the weak ones.
The weak
ones.
ones.
They think they weak.
Well,
because I wasn't weak.
They pick on who they think they have the upper hand over. That they can lord over their position.
Right.
And I was always the savior for the bully person. Now, when I was a bully, let me go on and clear this up. I was in middle school and I was jealous of this girl. Like I said, sixth, seventh.
The same girl?
Yeah, well, 5th, 6th, 7th grade. I was jealous of her.
Did she get some teeth?
She got it fixed, and now we're friends on Facebook, and and I always compliment her, and I want to tell her I'm sorry. You know, I was just a hater at that age. I was popular. I was, I was it, and I have 11 older siblings, so wasn't nobody really getting ready step to me. You know, my sister Michelle was Debo in the neighborhood, so she used to beat up Michelle beat up my teacher, my principal, got me kicked out of 4th grade because they put my name on the board with a check. She was a bully, and she made me fight for my niece Luana. Tasha, Sherry, and all them, they're my age. Tasha's older than me. But I was pushed into that. But literally, I was jealous of Keisha. I would never have fought her. I just said her name. Dang. But but I was jealous of her. But I was, 10, 11, 12. I didn't get it. But in high school, when people got bullied, you wouldn't believe it, Lisa. I used to be the one they would come to, and I shut it down. I'd be like, hey, that's my little homegirl. You're going to have to leave her.
No, I believe that. Everybody had cliques in high school.
But you know what? My clique wasn't
even in junior high.
But my clique wasn't just my clique. I had my homies that I ran the streets with. Then I had my white girls that I cheered with. Then I had my rockers when I went through my what's that? My mob stage with with Boy George and all that. Yes. I went through, I had all my cliques. So when they would, like my hood clique would pick on some random white girl or something, she would find me, Nene, and I'd be like, I got it, don't worry about it. And I'd be like, hey, stall her out.
But them days was good because my cousin was horrible. And all I had to do was say his name. That's it. Just the name. And people be like, leave her alone.
And that's how it was with us. I didn't have a lot of issues. I'm the youngest of 12, Yeah. But I feel sorry for the ones that are out there, these kids that are out there young. And you know what? It's not just kids. Adults are committing suicide and stuff. They're being bullied too,
But I wonder if it's the adults that are committing suicide. Are they part of the LGBT community?
Yes,
because
now that's a statistic one of us should pull up because that is the highest teen suicide as well too. And if I'm not mistaken,
it's unbelievable. I don't understand. People are people. If you don't like their lifestyle, that's your right, and that's your issue. But you have no right to bully someone or speak about them so badly that they want to kill themselves. But I remember a girlfriend sitting next to me. I can't even say the statement. She told somebody what to do. I said, what?
Oh, who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, was that a bully? Girl.
Was that a bully move?
Well,
it was
in the situation. I don't think it was because that person was totally out of line when you're talking about somebody death. But yeah, that would be considered a bully move, a straight bully move. She said, do yourself and everybody else a favor, okay?
I did do that.
I'm just like, okay, I knew you was going to go hard, me, but I didn't know you was going to go that
that's
hard.
A gift that I have. I can chop somebody up. I mean, it's a gift and a curse, but my sister right above me, I learned it from her because, she could break you down and not use a curse word. Me, you going to get some F-bombs. Yeah.
No, I could break you down without cussing. I could chop you up without cussing all day. You can too. What are you talking about? I've heard you. But my thing is, this is the thing. Everybody does this crap in high school. And then when you become grown, it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Because if you grown and let somebody bully you, which some of these people are grown because they're in college. And I understand the maturity may not be there, but you're still mature to a certain level that you should not allow anyone to come in and bully you. And your grades shouldn't matter that much where you go take your life because you fell and flunking out of Harvard. I'm going to need you to just go to another school. And not to say that happened at Harvard. I shouldn't use that name.
Right.
I'm just
God,
saying,
we're
but
shut down. No, I'm just kidding.
you do have suicides at Ivy League schools.
Yes.
Where these kids are killing themselves over grades because they, feel they're not good enough. But that's a whole nother incident with your parenting and all of that. But it's saying here that bullying is the third leading cause of suicide.
Wow.
4,400 deaths per year, according to the CDC. So that's a lot. And at least 100 suicide attempts.
How many?
And we're just speaking of bullying. We're not even talking about 4,400 deaths per year, according to the CDC.
That's too many lives.
Yes, and 100 suicide attempts, at least. So it says 14% of high school students have considered suicide, and almost 7% have attempted it.
And you know what? The school that's horrible. At the school I work at, I know somebody a couple of kids committed suicide last year.
And it says bully victims are between 2 to 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-bully victims.
Wow.
According to studies by Yale University. We're not just talking about Ivy League schools, but there you go. There you have it.
Wow.
So bullying is a real serious issue. And they're saying between 10 and 14 girls are higher risk
the
of
age
suicide.
10 to 14?
10 to 14-year-old girls may be at a higher risk of suicide.
That's that hormonal. That's the adolescence.
Statistics of ABC News.
Is it that adolescent age?
Yes. Nearly 30% of students are either bullies or victims of bullying, and 160,000 kids say they stay home from school every day from bullying because of the fear. Oh now your child is missing out on education because, of course, they're scared. Because I remember the feeling I used to have.
Really?
Like, oh, my God, I got to go to school and deal with this girl. She act like she my friend. She want to be my friend. But then when I don't give her nothing, she want to threaten her brother. But your brother is a punk because I got boys all day long. I could come. But, I had to handle it. I had to deal with it.
Did you have to end up fighting her?
No, she would never fight. That's the whole thing. She was just always, I'm going to get my brother, because she was a little scrawny little thing. I'm going to get my brother. Why are you going to get your brother?
And we're girls.
And he was in junior high or something, so technically you ain't got no business over here. So, and we lived in the same neighborhood.
But that was you remember that feeling, though?
I do. I remember that sick feeling when you just sick to your stomach. Uh-huh. And you like, oh, God, I got to go to school and deal with this. It's enough when you're in school just trying to get through school and just be a teenager.
I'm trying to...
Now you got to deal with bullying all because somebody don't like you or whatever reason they're bullying you for. I mean, these numbers is just ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It is out of line.
I was never bullied in school. I can't remember, so I'm assuming no.
Right, because Michelle started you young. When she made you go out there and fight and do all this, that was like marking your territory. Everybody already knew not to mess with you. But you have a lot of kids.
But when we moved from, like, Compton, because from Linwood, Compton, and then out to the Inland Empire, I had to set myself up in a position to not be. I remember because when I moved out here, I was still in high school. I graduated out here my senior year. I graduated in Riverside. So
school is old.
Right. So when I remember being that girl from Compton.
So that should have said enough right there.
But I had a few people now. I remember if I was a punk, then this would have affected me. But you see how I am. My friend Tracy.
Right.
Okay, from back then. I met her because they came to jump me. The first day. It was my first day.
Haters.
My first day of school. I didn't know anyone. Right. Other than it was this dude that I met that lived out here. He was from the city, but he lived out here. Okay. He had a little sports car. That was my little boyfriend, but he had a girlfriend out here.
Oh, so they was ready to get you.
So they knew about this girl from the city. So when I came to school, it was my first day of school. They found out what school I was at, and they were a little older than me. They weren't in school. All three of them came up to the school, but because I had a car, I left campus for lunch. And when I came back, all these people at the school was like, this girl, Tracy B, they came up here, they looking for you, and nah. And I was like, who are they? And they were Tracy B. She got a nameplate that say Tracy B. And I seen her beat up 3 grown women and nah. And I'm like, okay, well, so where are they? But at that time I'm like, okay, it's me and 3. But whatever, we can ready to do it. So I was like, well, take me to her house. I remember that. And after school, they showed me where she lived. And I went and I knocked on her door. And she opened the door with a knife. And I said, is Tracy here? She was like, I'm Tracy. I said, I'm Nene. You looking for me? We never fought, and we ended up being homies.
But this is another thing. Why grown people used to always come up to the school? Even when I was in junior high.
I know.
To beat somebody up, to jump somebody, that is against the law. Why? When I moved out here, I've never seen anything like that. You do not find grown people.
Yes, you do.
They still coming up to the school?
Last year at the school I'm at, a mom and auntie and some girls, them same girls that...
But don't they know they can go to jail for that? You cannot.
So. And you remember when that grown 30-something-year-old woman came up there for Brianna and Rihanna?
Yes.
And I almost shut the whole school down, the whole district. The police was there.
Grown
women do that.
No, but it's different if you come in the aspect of a parent.
No, they came up there to fight Rihanna and Brianna.
This is nonsense.
Because a dude that went there had problems with Rihanna and Brianna. He liked Bree. Bree didn't like him, so he started pressing him.
Right, I remember the
Rihanna was like, hey, you got all these dudes up here scared of you. Rihanna was like, I'll fight you. And he was like, oh, I have somebody for y'all. So he had this grown woman come up there.
But what does the school do?
The resource officer, Rialto PD officer was like, that was a grown ASS woman. That was no child.
But what do they do?
It was a muck. I don't know what the end results were, if she went to jail or whatever.
Out of line.
She was in her 30s.
It's out of line. And it's like, I wish somebody would. Because I've had several instances where a parent have even just said something to my child.
But parents are bullying. But a lot of adults are bullies.
But like I tell parents, when it comes to the school, you will not, school or no school, don't say nothing to my child because I am not going to say anything to your child because I'm a parent and I would not want myself or any parent coming up to my kid like this one woman did and said whatever she said.
What she say?
I can't remember.
Because I'm okay. You know what?
Oh, but I went up to the school. I don't play that.
But look,
don't nobody get to come up to my child and say nothing.
But remember back in the day how our neighbors and stuff. But see, the issue now is there are no boundaries. Adults nowadays are too they're out of pocket. So they're
scared of the kids.
But not only that, not so much of that. I mean,
that's what it is.
Yeah, but not in this situation. I'm talking about the respect facts, the respect values that we used to have. It was okay back in the day for your neighbor to tell you, get your out the street. Right. And I'm a get over
here. But your neighbor knew your parents.
Right. But see, nowadays, you got to tread lightly anyway. Because if you say something to somebody's kid, even if it's the best thing, excuse me, young man, do you see me standing here? Why are you talking like that? I'm a woman. Hold up. Don't you say nothing to my son. Your son is an ignorant fool. And I'm just, you can't do that anymore.
Well, and the reason that we can't do that, at least I find in my situation, we're not neighborly anymore. When I grew up, we knew all the neighbors. If you didn't have no food, you can go to the neighbor house, get a whole meal. Okay, they give you a pack of chicken, some potatoes. Look, you get the whole freaking meal. There you go. But as I've been raising my family, I don't know my neighbors like that. You see them and you say hi and bye.
Or I lived next door to the people to the left for how many years, and they wouldn't speak to none of us on the block.
Right, but
so we got them up out of there. We bullied them.
I came away with one good neighbor.
They moved last month.
That's funny. One good neighbor,
Sherry.
In Corona, and not Corona, Ontario, and in Corona, I ain't no neighbors. Like, I don't keep, it's not neighborly anymore.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
everybody go in their houses, nobody speak, you say hello, bye,
And then
that's it.
and then when there's things going on with your kids and stuff, if you miss anything, like you say, they're not neighborly. Neighbors don't get involved. They could see things going on. I'm in a good neighborhood. My whole my neighborhood,
But you've been there a long time.
we have each other's back, and they know I'm a woman up in there with girls or whatever. Even though I stay strapped and ready, they'll call me. Hey, it's some people in front of your house. It's some kids out there trying to yelling to your daughter. All kind of stuff. So we're good. But my thing is, I just want to make sure I'm not raising a bully. And because she had a situation, my kid, when she was bullied, remember in middle school, and almost blew up that Christian school.
Right.
And then come to find out, here we are now, full-fledged, and I didn't heard her talk to a few people. I'm like, you're a jerk.
Well, I wonder where she get that from. But anyway, at least the schools are talking about bullying. When we came up, they weren't talking about no bullying.
Yeah, and
now they have campaigns on it, and everybody's talking about it. But I just don't feel like nobody's doing anything. Everybody's talking about it. You have a national.
But what can you
day.
do? They're doing what they can. You have jerks.
I don't think they are.
I think so. I think they're doing. It has a lot to do with that one of those earlier shows we did. These kids are. I don't know. They're different.
But my thing is,
they're different than us.
The
we handled it different.
At the school,
is
overworked.
Okay.
Underpaid.
The personnel.
They don't care. All they want to do. Most people are just doing their jobs and going home. Teachers can only do so much because, to me, with the classroom sizes, it's like cattle. They're coming in, they're coming out. Period 1 over, come on, period 2. Period 3, they just trying to get through the day.
You do have a few, but I think they have like a no contact order or stay away order between students, which doesn't work. You're right. It does not work. But what can they really do? What could we do? How could we help?
I think they should have more conversation about it. I think they should have
Lisa.
Forms. I haven't seen any forms. Now, I see the sign on the kiosk outside. No, the marquise or whatever it is, the anti-bullying month, but they're not really doing anything about it because most of the time the PTA will sponsor that type of event, but you're not having an assembly. They may have one assembly where they're talking about it, but I think they need to let the children that have been bullied or the children that are the bullies, come up,
the ones
give a word,
do the kids,
have conversation, real conversation.
Are the kids that are doing the bullying, do they know they're bullies? You got to know.
I would think
you got to know.
Anytime you taking somebody's lunch money, you want them to buy you something, or you going to beat them up, or they got to, because it's always something that you have to do for them.
Or not. Sometimes they just walk by,
just get it for the kicks of it,
pull and pick at you, push you down and keep moving. Laugh.
But see, that's a deeper thing. That you got some issues at home, you got some self issues. But at the end of the day,
at some point, don't all bullies have some issues?
Well, even
when I 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, when I was a bully, my issue was I was jealous of her. Even at that very young age, that was my issue. I may not have understood it until I became older, but I was just jealous. She was super pretty, and I was jealous. So
you never went home and talked to your mom about it, or none of your sisters.
I did not care.
Nothing?
I just used to say I don't like her,
and nobody said why.
Why? I don't know. I don't like her, and that's that. What you gonna make me say?
Regular old stupid answer. I tell you, that ain't no answer.
I don't know. I just don't like
that nonsense.
Well, now I'm quick to say because she was pretty and I was jealous.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When we get older, it's like that stuff don't even matter. But I don't understand how grown folks are being bullied to where they're taking their lives.
That has to do with that individual person.
And then,
but some people are so resilient. You can say something to me that may not affect me not one
Right.
bit. Say something to the person standing next to me and they may go home in OD. You know,
This is
you
true.
just people
This is
just
true.
the mind is so beautiful and intricate and your emotions and all that. You can't
But
really
bullying is always about who you are, what you look like, how you dress. You know, like
your
that
self-esteem.
is so superficial. Everything is so superficial. I just don't understand how you gonna bully me online. Yeah, I mean when I
Yeah,
don't-
because
you
they
don't even
get
see me.
that with that keyboard courage.
Now we talking about the ones that you don't even see. You know, first we went into the ones you see, and then the ones you see that's on social media you still got to see at school. But now let's talk about the ones you don't even see at all. How is that bullying you? You don't see these people. Can't you just delete them? I don't have social media, but I would just think you could just delete, right?
Yeah, but
And be done with it.
and in actuality, in a logical thinking mind, how you don't know me.
Right.
So what you're saying about me,
Doesn't even
it
matter.
can't even affect me.
Right.
And anyway, bottom line is, who are you?
And if you're going to be negative, delete.
Why don't you just delete them and move on?
Well, I don't know.
Well, you know what? People love yourself.
Yes.
If you love yourself, you won't be bullied. You won't bully nobody. Just
Live
love
your
yourself.
truth. Love yourself. Live your truth.
Because we're all created different.
Yeah.
And we're all unique.
And if you are being bullied, then please, there are resources out there. If you're in school, you know, there's counselors. If you are an adult, there are centers out there.
Call me. My number is.
What's our email?
I will help you out.
Yes. But
woman.woman@yahoo.com. But seriously.
woman.woman at
No, woman.woman2016@yahoo.com.
Sorry. I said it wrong.
woman.woman 2016@yahoo.com.
And send your other, if you have any other
Comments or
Suggestions,
suggestions.
anything,
But
share them with us.
yes, and now we are waiting for Lisa's
Word of the
word of the day. Word of the day.
Well, don't be bullied. That's for sure.
I don't even know if if that's possible for me. No, seriously.
Don't be bullied. Don't get bullied. Love yourself, and everything else will fall into place. And that's the thing. Kids don't understand about loving
Because
yourself.
everything is so grandiose at that moment.
It is.
You know.
My life is over.
No, your life hasn't even started.
Okay.
You're 12. You know, so I don't know.
I don't either. So, but this
What's
is
the-
what we're gonna. I'm gonna have you read the word of the day.
Okay, Lisa's word of the day. Real strength is not just a condition of one's muscle, but a tenderness in one's spirit.